I ran the phones all the time after that.
Smart, but because of Homeboy, it was already all bad.
Every time I was getting these calls coming from the phone that my dispatcher was operating on, they were asking for larger amounts. Like, oh, I need like 2, 3 ounces, you know, can you make that happen? I'm like, what? Nah, we don't do that. We're only used to dealing in small increments because if you get caught with a small amount, you do less time.
Yeah, that was a setup, and Coss was falling for nothing.
I don't think Coss ever thought he was gonna get caught. This man is hustling, selling drugs. He was living, you know, every hustler's dream.
I got a family and we were happy. I was personally pocketing about $2 million of profit. I thought we were running the smoothest operation. Most of the people that got my number were like personal references or people that I've like cross-checked.
But Coss didn't know behind the scenes, the DEA was tracking his movements and building a case against Coss and his team for an entire year until one day in March.
I was sending the drivers on my Nextel, chirping them, telling them, hey, go to this location, go to that location. As they were arriving to that location, my phone was like, there was a thing called, you know, your bleeps got stuck. It was like, bam, bam, bam. You lose connection. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And like, the customers were not picking up. Had about, I don't know, 50 customers waiting to be served at that time. And I was like, I'm not gonna wait for my drivers to do.
Radio silence, a noisy-ass sign. But you don't hear me, though.
So I run up to the Bronx where we had our stash house. I went to pick up about 100 bags, throw it in the stash. At that time, I'd sent like 9 drivers to different locations. I don't know what was happening. The feds was catching every one of them, one at a time. One of my drivers, who I thought was a good friend of mine, was the first one that got caught. They put the pressure on him. He basically dropped the whole beans on the whole operation to a drug enforcement agency.
Damn, Coss can't trust nobody. They out here stealing and snitching.
And as I stepped out of the house, this white guy was like, Coss Marte, and I was like, well, who is you? He pulls out his badge. He's like, your whole operation is over. I got thrown into the hood of my car, and as I was cuffed, they were like, and we got a warrant to search the house. So they brought me inside the house, and it went directly to the stash. I had it in this Jordan box, and they said, bingo.